about an hour and a half away. We had a damn good time, man. Family, beautiful thing, man. I'm gonna tell everybody, man. Family's where it's at, baby. Yeah, that's what you want to do, man. You want to spend time with family. Yeah, man. Saw how big and beautiful the family is, man. And the bride was amazing. The amazing Shanice. The Vines family. I always get the spelling wrong, man. Just amazing couple, man. Friends, the bridesmen, the groomsmen, bridesmaids and groomsmen were amazing. You know, it was great sitting back being an OG with the older people at the older table. I'm at the older table there. I was like, what's up? You know what I'm saying? But it's what time it is. That's the season, right? That's the season I'm in, and I'm embracing it, man. Yeah, man. The Valines family, Valines, man, promising couple, man. Man, I'm so filled with joy that my people find joy and love, man. They've been together for 5 years. They got married, and that's just amazing. Love is real. It still exists, fam. It still exists. They're making it work. They're doing it, making it work. And yeah, so there we go. So I'm back in the house, man. We back. We got news to tackle. I want to say what's up to all the Tim Black Wolfpack members out there, man. I ain't forget about you. We're going through a transitional phase as we move the channel towards bigger and brighter things, man. Do our best to cover the news the same way we've been covering it all this time. Kicking them in the mouth, man. Or punching them in the mouth. And kicking them in the teeth? No, kicking them in the stomach? We want to be truth tellers above all and all else. We want to be truth tellers from our vantage point. And all the people in the building, yeah, man, all the people in the building, man, thank y'all for being here, man. I'm trying to tell y'all, I put together a pretty good show tonight. We got a lot to talk about. It's been a lot happening. And also not a lot happening. Isn't that weird? I don't know. But I've been able to find some things I think might be worth your while to stay in the loop about what's going on. What's up, Tim Black's Wolfpack? Now look, the show is brought to you by the Tim Black Legacy Mug. $20 mug. Politics for the people. Not politics for the corporations, politics for the people. That's what this is, Johnson. And go to timblackmug.com, get your mug sent directly from here, the TBTV headquarters, and we will package it up, throw some freebies in a box, little perks, stickers, buttons, wristbands, little cool stuff, right? Just to show our appreciation to the people that have made it possible to do this show. So yeah, be a part of that. Go to timblackmug.com, timblackmug.com, and check out. Pick up, put it in your cart, check it out. So that's where we are, right? That's where we are. Anything am I missing? What we got here, fam? Anybody got any topics? Anybody got anything? Now remember, my door is always open for suggestions, for content, for story coverages I may have missed, because believe it, it's not a science. People let me know things to cover. I cover them if I have time. I look into them. I try to do my research. I try to come back with a thorough analysis, and then we do a content on it. So, last couple of stories, like the Tim Scott story I just covered. I did a segment on Tim Scott that released today, but it was from Friday's show, or Thursday's show, Wednesday's show. Damn, it's been a minute, right? Because there was no Friday show. I just put that out today. But that was a viewer suggested content. Because Tim Scott, I mean, it was funny. It was important to say what happened to Tim Scott. What else? What else did we cover? We covered, I covered an update on some white guy. Yeah, because folks, I get all types of criticism and all types of suggestions. Sometimes it's from people that don't really give a damn about the show. They're just doing it to troll. Someone was saying, Tim, all you do is talk about black people. And I was like, damn, I wonder if people feel that way. You know what I'm saying? Because I try to talk about what I think the community cares about, right? Like I said, there's no science to it. I just look at what's going on and I try to say, okay, what does my audience, what would they show interest in? And then sometimes you got to push the envelope a little bit because you really don't know. People don't know what they want to hear about till they hear about it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, would you have thought Get Out? Could you have thought of Get Out being a great movie if you hadn't seen it? Like, what's this guy getting kidnapped and they taking black people's bodies and occupying their bodies and doing, like, what is this? What's the tea kettle about? You know, what is going on here? You know, but when you see it, you go, this is a great concept. So that's how life is sometimes. You know, you don't know exactly what people want. People don't know exactly what they want. So you could ask people, hey, what content do you want? They're only going to have their imagination is based on what they've seen. You can't imagine things that you haven't experienced. You don't know what chocolate cake tastes like till you taste chocolate cake. But people that hate, who kind of want to do what you do, but don't really want to do it because scrutiny, backlash, it ain't as easy as it look. Not easy to talk to a camera for 3 hours. They think it is. It ain't. You big foreheads out there. People criticize every flaw. Everything about you. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that easy, right? But it's easy to sit in the sidelines and tell other people what they need to be doing. You should do this, and you should do that. You ain't living up to this, and you ain't living up to that. So there was this one guy, I thought he was being real, right? He was like, you're covering the blacks too aggressively. He don't even use his name in his avatar. I forget his name. I don't even want to give him no shine. He know who he is. I blocked him, but he knows who he is. He can still see the content, he just can't comment. We just can't see when he comments. He can comment all day. He just don't know nobody sees him. That's the new age of blocking where they can see whatever they want. I'm not blocking you from watching the show. I'm blocking you from being visible to me. Because I don't need that in my life. I need to go back and forth with you all day. You want a member of the show? Anyway, so the guy says you don't cover white people enough. White people, you letting them off the hook. And I'm like, nah, man, when I cover, unless it's something pertaining to the black community, unless it's something that's really like interesting, people just don't want to know what's going on with Mitch McConnell. They just don't give a shit. My viewers don't give a shit about Mitch McConnell. Not really. Now, if he got hit by a bus, God forbid, we want to know about it. I don't even know if we want to know, but we can listen to that for a couple minutes. But like, I covered something, and I thought it was a great video. And I can say exactly what it was, because it's not that many of them. It was very recently. Damn it. It was, Steven Crowder, race hustler, over at the Black Barbershop. So I took another bite at that story because there was one part where he was talking about black people create racism by being black, by doing black people things. So I covered that, and I thought I did a great job, but only a couple thousand people wanted to watch. Nobody cared about it, man. Of the people that watched it, it got like 99% approval, right? 99% likes. But it's just, YouTube immediately tells me, it says very clearly, fewer of your subscribers are choosing to watch this video. Tells me right there. Now this guy's so smart, he thinks it made me question me. I try to cover what I think my people want to see. If I keep covering shit they don't want to see, YouTube stops sending them notifications. So it's very important that I give the people what they want, because if not, YouTube's gonna give a shit about me and just start hiding my content from the people. Enough times that you don't click, YouTube says, oh, they don't want to see this no more. Let's put somebody else in front of them. So I remember this guy. He was in my comment section on that video. He didn't say, hey man, great coverage. He didn't say, way to go. He commented on the video, but he just totally ignored the fact that I did the content. And I said to him, I said, hey, don't you remember commenting that I don't cover white people enough on the show and I'm always beating up on black people? I said, look, man, you know, people don't want to care about. They don't care about this. You can't make people care about something if they don't care about it. Some people would say, Tim Black, why are you giving this jackass any shine? And I'm talking about the video. Why are you talking about this guy? Why are you mentioning his name on your show? Why are you covering him? People looking at it the other way too. You know what the guy said in the comments when I said, hey man, why aren't you like, don't you see what I was trying to tell you? You can see how many people saw this video. He said, man, I just go around to all black content creators and tell them, you know, and try to tell them what the, you know, something he said, comment to all black content creators about their coverage. I don't know why you in your feelings. I said, oh, okay. I'm in my feelings. So I said, okay, man. I didn't say, I just said that. I said, you're not a fair person. I just said, you are not a fair person, my brother, but you take care. And I blocked him. And I'll never speak to him again in life. And I'm sure he feels like he won. But he didn't. And we didn't. You know what I'm saying? It's not that people are human. Humans like drama. Humans like suspense. Humans want to see justice prevail. Black people or white people, Asians, Native Americans, Latinos, gay, straight, Catholic, Jewish, Presbyterian, I don't know. Pescatarian, meat eaters, vegetarians. Everybody's built the same way, man. And they want the same things trigger them or make them interested. All of us, right? And it's not anybody better than anybody else. It's just certain things don't appeal to all people, right? And yeah, just like anytime you scroll on Netflix, you look at what's available, you look at the thumbnail, you look at the title, you determine if this is for you, and this is something that you'd be interested in. You might not want to watch a rom-com. You might not want to watch another war movie. You might want to watch a gangster flick, or you might want to watch a science fiction, or you might want to watch a black lead, or you might want to watch a musical or sports, or whatever it is, a reality show, a game show, a cooking show. Right? All that to be said, all I'm trying to say is, it ain't easy finding out what's best for people, what to make for people. You can't make people watch. If so, I'll be covering some uplifting, positive content all the time. I used to do a segment called Good News or something like that. Least watched shit in the world. I had upbeat music. Had a black man and a black woman. Da-da-da. They on the beach, playing around, joking around. You carrying her on the back and stuff, and it was really good vibes. Nobody watched that shit. Because human nature, man. We wait for the train wreck. All people do that. It's not a failure. It's not a genetic failure of a group of people. Oh, we just gravitate to negativity. Man, what do you think movies are? Whole world's built on this. From Bollywood to Hollywood. It's across the globe. Kung Fu movies in Asia or in Japan. Or in China. Ninjas and shit. Throwing stars. They weren't throwing love darts. Throwing stars, mofo. It's a billion Chinese and they making some violent movies. Great horror films. They got the best zombie movies come out of China, goofy. But people, when you don't know, right, when you don't have an exposure to other cultures, everything negative you see in your community, you think it's just us. That's what you think. People that been around know it's not just us. They don't say nothing. They mind their own business. And that's one thing that infuriates me, fam, is there are black people, particularly young black people, sometimes some old ones. I heard it's the worst when it's older folks. Younger folks, I want to tell them, look, because old folks, man, you ain't gonna be here much longer. I mean, what I'm saying is, I want to tell everybody, but you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you can't change an older person's point of view. They're locked in their ways, right? I want to tell them, when you see something negative, don't assign that just to black Americans. There are white people that throw trash on the ground. There are Asian people that roast one another, and there are words for sellouts in other countries, and other ethnicities and groups have their own ways of treating each other when it comes to who's standing up or who's not. There's terms for it. You just don't know these things exist in other cultures because America's so damn segregated. You just don't realize that we ain't the only ones with issues or problems, concerns, and that people gon' people. When I say people, I don't just mean black people or white people. I mean all people. And all people have the capacity for love. They love their families. They love their traditions. They love their own music, whatever that is. They love a good movie. They love the winning, the competition. They love the story of struggle or survival, the hero, the villain getting his comeuppance. All these things are universal. But it hurts a brother, man. It hurts when I see people that I know better, that I'm positive, actually know better. They know it's not just a black thing, but for the money, they perpetuate lies and stereotypes and say things and assign them only to black Americans when they have to know that ain't a black trait, that's a trait of people. I've never seen a rich person have to worry about stealing food stamp money or stealing food out the store. But there were a lot of rich people who got over with the banking crisis or with the banking failures. A lot of rich people who robbed Wall Street. A lot of rich people robbing the government right now with the non-government organizations that are basically Ponzi schemes. But you can't see that on a clip on X. In a 15-second clip. You see a black woman complaining about food stamps. What do you think Republicans be doing every time there's an election? Complaining about taxes, complaining about government programs they're not getting. You think people vote for Trump just because they like his hair? People vote Republican by and large to get the tax breaks. Man, I'm trying to tell you, man, there's something anyway, let's not assign negativity to each other so haphazardly. Let's take a little bit of due diligence. That's why, man, people say, oh, you should not be going after content creators. Man, shut up. That's because you got something to hide. You know, I don't care what anybody say about me, as long as, if I'm wrong about something, I could be wrong about something, we can have that conversation. I'm not thin-skinned like that, man. I've been doing this almost 15 years, man. I don't care, so I got something to say. I don't even need to say, well, y'all don't need to be judging content creators. Man, ain't nobody above criticism. No one's above criticism. No one's above. And we gotta police ourselves to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? We should be able to speak about what MSNBC's doing, MS Now, or CNN, or Fox, or Newsmax, what they're doing. And we could also talk about what somebody else is doing who has content, who has an independent platform. That shouldn't be everything, but it's something. You can reach, I reach 10 million people a month. That's important that I try to get things right. And I'm working on it because I want to be better at that, because there is an analysis that has to be done and research that needs to be done. And That's one of the focuses that I have, is not do as much content, but do a little bit more investigative in my content. Y'all ready? All right, guys, one more time for the Tim Black Wolfpack in the building, man. My people, my people, my people. My people, my people, my people.
I really don't know what he said at the end of this. I don't think he knows what he said either.
That would be a good time. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, and please cut on all your notifications so that you'll get this, you'll get alerts when new content is released on the channel. But I hate those lids where you can't get them to go the right way, you know? The handle be the wrong, just me. Let's get into it, man. We got a lot to cover. Starting with this. Here it's him. The drum roll up in his joint. Well, hell. Why am I not hearing anything? Sorry, guys, I couldn't hear a damn thing here, Josh.
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Oh, my bad.
Zoe Ali was 6 years old when she realized something was different.
Came from school and asked my mom, "Mommy, why isn't my hair straight or pretty?" She went to the stores and decided to get me a black doll, a doll that looked like me. And I loved her, but I noticed that she did not have hair that looked like mine. And I wanted dolls with curls and braids.
It was a moment of inspiration and creation. It led Ali to start her own doll brand called Beautiful Curly Me.
I just didn't feel confident in who I was, and so having that representation, seeing a toy or a figure in my life that looked like me and represented me in a way, just helped grow my confidence so much more.
Her mom used about $5,000 in savings to help Ali get her business off the ground.
Last year, we were able to launch in Target shelves nationwide.
My bad. I want to rewind that, man. I want to hear what she
or
said,
a figure
man.
in my life that looked like me and represented me in a way, just helped grow my confidence so much more.
Her mom used about $5,000 in savings to help Ali get her business off the ground.
Last year, we were able to launch in Target shelves nationwide.
Her dolls are sold in stores like Brown Toy Box, a small business in downtown Atlanta. Terry Mitchell Bradley is the store's owner.
We have an expertise is making sure that Black children and brown children can see themselves in the toys that we sell.
Ollie's on a mission to empower young Black girls, not only through dolls, but through books and puzzles.
Just seeing all the girls we've been able to impact over the years and spreading our message of confidence has been amazing.
Next on deck.
Wow, man. That is inspiring, fam. And so there you go. I want to start off tonight with a show or the segment that is uplifting and makes people feel good about themselves, and also showcases something that doesn't get talked about enough, man. When you live in a country where your representation is typically negative when you see it, I think it's important. And as a girl dad, right? I want to make sure my girls get the emotional support and see themselves in positive ways. You know, and I think you have to do it, because what society is going to put on us is going to be what sells and puts butts in the seats, and what sells is sex and violence and all those things. So that's what you're going to get. Sex appeal, violence, drama. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be proactive that they get the positive stuff, because we can't let like the corporate, it ain't their job. I don't feel it's their job to put out positive content. I know people complain. We can complain about the imagery, right? But our complaining about the imagery is not going to change. When you have children, you got a responsibility to try to control what they consume. It would be great if the content was of better quality. It's not. Until it is, we gotta make sure our kids get the right representations in front of them. So I like this. I like these dolls. Not to mention, I love the fact this young woman and her mom started this company with $5,000 investment, and it has grown into this. And Saul was being carried at Target. Yeah, it was carried at Target. And in Target, the store that we chose to boycott because they didn't want DEI. I don't know, man. I still been trying to find out how many businesses like this one were impacted by the boycott. No, I still can't get a response from how many black people lost jobs, how many black people, businesses were impacted negatively by the boycott. Still can't find out. You should be able to tell me, right? You should be able to tell me that.
Right back there.
Instead of comparing targeting Target for, how can I say this? For scaling back DEI programs for all these groups, not just black people, all these groups. Wow, we had to use black muscle as usual to be the face of a boycott for the entire country that everybody except straight white guys. Why we had to be that? We already the least represented group with the most financial obstacles of any other group. Why we gotta be the brunt of it? Why we gotta be first through the door? Why we gotta be the face of whatever civil rights thing for the entire country? And what do we get for it? Do we get the lion's share of something out of this? I try to tell people, when you watch the TV and you see these shows, what's the show that Meghan Markle was on? Suits. See the show Suits? She was like a lawyer or something. Black women only make up like 3% of female lawyers in the country. Did you know that? Black men only make up like 3% of male lawyers. Same thing with doctors. But when you see these shows, every show got a black person. The shit is not reality. It's not mimicking reality. They just want the show to be diverse. In reality, it's not so diverse. Okay? In reality, typically, if you had 10 doctors in a room, 1 to 2 of them would be African American. Maybe 2. Maybe 2. Maybe 1 for real. That's really the representation of America. That's why people be complaining, because they think we overrepresented. What I don't like about it is it gives people a false idea of really what's going on in the country. It gives them a false representation. Therefore, they form judgments. Then they criticize each other. Right? We're going to get into it, man. We got a lot more to cover. But from my perspective, I just want you to know, fam, a lot of this propaganda, it's not to help us. Okay, it's not to help us, because if people really knew how you were doing, if people really knew as a whole what's going on with the country, if people really knew how poor white America really is, white people and black people might say, hey, we both get screwed. Hey, we both been screwed. But as long as they make it seem like it's only black people on the food stamps, that ain't even close to reality. And what goofies think that in states and cities where there's no black people, but there's a lot of people on food stamps? Who you think is on it? But see, as long as they can pigeonhole, right, and they can put out propaganda that tells you something different, that can control the money. So anyway, this got nothing to do with this young black woman, except this young black girl, this young black woman, young woman, doing an amazing business. Doing something inspirational, but also good business sense. Because it's a great market for it. Oh, it's an excellent market for it. I remember when I had Jane Elliott on my show years ago. And we talked about the blue-eyed, brown-eyed contest and the doll choice, and we went through all of that. We had an interesting conversation. Anyway, that's it. Let's keep going, fam. Thank y'all. Hit the like button if that makes sense. What's up, Wolfpack? What's up, X? What's up, Facebook? I would say what's up to the other platform. Who was watching? Rumble. Oh, Lord. I don't know how you get a hit on Rumble, man. Jesus Christ. Why am I even on Rumble? Next.
With Tim Black.
We don't have illegal aliens. I don't know if that's from some sort of sci-fi message that you would have had. Well, listen, the legal term for my people were slaves. You want me to use that term too? So look, let's just get the language right. We're talking about undocumented individuals that are human beings. The last thing that I'm going to do is accept the type of racist, nasty language to describe human beings. And so as far as our spending...
Next on deck with Tim.
Yeah. Back to the old tricks. Yeah, whenever anybody in America faces any type of anything they don't like, you got to compare it to black people in slavery. Doesn't matter what it is. Damn it, Johnson, I couldn't get in my parking space because there was no room. That's just like it was being slaves. God damn it. Black people went through the same thing with slavery. Couldn't find a day for the prom. Oh, Jesus. Just like being a slave, being a black person, a slave. What have we learned from slavery? Whew. I stubbed my toe. Oh, God, I stubbed my toe on the edge of the bed. Hit my shit on the bed. Ah, God damn. Just like slavery. Just like being black or being a slave. Who makes beds with wood? With pieces of hard materials that you can hit your shit on? This is slavery, damn it. Everything is slavery, fam. We were used for every damn thing. And it's one thing, whether it's a young goofy with purple hair, gray purple hair, whatever, from Seattle, 18, 20 years old, 23. It's another thing when it's a grown-ass man who's a mayor of a city. I don't care what you call people, people that come to the country illegally. I don't know why that's such a stigma to call someone illegal who's doing something illegal, who's in the country illegally. Okay, and I remember when we were having this conversation, tell it's not right to call them illegal aliens. It's a stigma. Now they compare that to the N-word. Really, Johnson? Really, that's what we call that? That's the same thing, huh? Okay. How many people were lynched and they were shouting, illegal aliens? That's that word, the N-word, is a word thousands of black people heard white people screaming at them as they were being crucified, as they were being burnt alive. I don't think those are words, the last words that a lot of undocumented immigrants heard before they left this earthly realm. You know what I'm saying? As they were dying, as they were being tortured to death, as pieces of their body were being cut off and put in their mouth to consume. Now, that's what happened to us. Now, I know it's not a warm, cuddly feeling, right? Some things aren't gonna be warm and cuddly. We gotta tell the damn truth, man. We got this black guy sitting up there making a comparison between slavery. It don't make sense. It's just gaslighting. Virtual signaling, asshole. Just gaslighting and virtual signaling and using black pain and suffering to get something from another group of people. Hey man, I got no problems. You want to advocate for people that come to the country who want to make more money. Fine, Johnson, fine. Don't use us to do it. Do it on the merits of those people. Do it on the merits of the people that you're trying to help. Stop comparing things that don't go together. Okay? Don't do that. They got countries they came from. I don't know what country. I gotta go get a test to find out where I'm from. I have no idea which African nation I'm from. They know where they from. They just left that motherfucker of their own will and traveled to a place and just didn't like check in and go through the papers and do all this shit. That's it. That's all they did that was wrong. They could leave out, do that shit, come in and get subsidies and money and get a bank loan.
Rape somebody.
Get it like driver's license. That wasn't the same. I don't know how you could compare that to being a descendants of slavery in this country. I just don't get it. And that's what people just want to reach through the internet, come out one side come out on his side of his computer, reach out and just pop him upside the head and reboot his system. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying do that. I'm not advocating violence. But virtually I love to bitch slap him for that. Because you don't have a right. You don't have the right to use my ancestors to make an argument for other people when they're not being enslaved. There are actually people you can kind of make the claim who are literally being enslaved in other countries right now. It's a real thing. There are real people being enslaved right now. People are being auctioned in other countries right now. People are being human trafficked and sold. That's not what he's talking about. He's talking about somebody afraid ICE might come. That ain't the same thing, Johnson. That's not the same thing. That's not what Kunta was running from ICE. He wasn't running from ICE, man. He was in this country. All right. You're gonna stop it there, man. These people that voted for Brandon Johnson, you got what you paid for. Congratulations. You guys one of the worst mayors. It's not because he's black, it's because he's one of the worst. I'm sure there are other worse, there are other horrible mayors. I don't hear enough about them to know. If you know another mayor that sucks as bad as Brandon Johnson, send me content on it. I'd cover them. Now, if my people go to watch it, I don't know. But I'll take a bite at the apple and cover another horrible mayor. We'll do worst mayors. We can do a new segment called Worst Mayors. But as of right now, Brandon Johnson is one of the worst mayors I know. For shit like this. Virtual signaling, empty suit, jackass, insulting all the black people. And who's there going? Immigrants. We don't got a problem in some of this either. Comparing their shit to this. Comparing this 300 years of slavery, 100 years of Jim Crow. Comparing them might have to be put out of a country they weren't born in. Comparing that to slavery. That seems like the same thing to you? Huh? All right, let's keep going, guys. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button.
I'm black.
At the same time, the relentless bombing of the Palestinian people, and many of them have been just innocent people. They're not Hamas. They're literally women and children, and you can't unsee the amount of pictures and videos of children that have been blown to pieces and are they're finding them dead in the rubble. That isn't, those aren't actors. That isn't fake war propaganda. It's very real, and I think that is equally horrific. I want to see an end to it, and I think most Americans do. I mean,
Next on deck with Tim Black.
Hey man, you gotta give it up, you know? You know what I'm saying? Look man, I know there's a lot of progressives who are upset with Marjorie Taylor Greene. This has gotta be a scam. I don't trust her. I didn't say trust her, I just said was she right. I don't trust nobody, son. I trust Mrs. Black. I trust my kids. A couple people. You know what I'm saying? Point is this. I ask you to trust her. Is she right about this? I don't trust Democrats. I don't trust Republicans. I don't trust Green Party. Hey, I said it. I don't trust them. I used to campaign out my nose for freaking Jill Stein, and then I ain't here for her for 4 years. Anyway, the point is this, fam. You ain't gotta like it. It's just, is it real? Is it in agreement with what you believe? That's it. You don't get to choose who's right, who's wrong. You don't get to choose if someone makes a heel turn that you agree with. You just gotta go with it. And in the moment, you gotta be honest. Because here's the thing, fam, and I know this right here is gonna be a hard pill to swallow. Swallow it. If you chastise people when they disagree with you, and then you chastise them when they agree with you, there is no incentive for them to do things better. If a person can't win for losing, why even play the game? I know exactly how you feel. Nobody wants to be a sucker. I didn't say go give her money. I didn't say put her on your Christmas list. I didn't say no do no shit like that. I said, okay, props. You know what I'm saying? Props. Who? But when Marjorie Taylor Greene starts sounding more reasonable than, what's her name? I don't know. Any of this kooky, Brumilda, whatever, Pablo, you know, people in the squad. When she starts sounding more reasonable, again, Nancy Reagan, or whatever her name is, Nancy Kerrigan, any white Democrat, liberal women, you know, then you got a problem, man. Then the world's on its ear. Things are going off kilter. You're in a fun house like this. You know, because something's, you know. But that's the way it is, fam, because when we gonna realize that these are just words. Yeah, it's just words coming out of the face of a politician. Don't really mean shit. What do they advocate for? What do they fight for? What are they willing to die for? What are they willing to lose their job for? That's what matters. We got it twisted. When there's a problem and there's a knock at the door and it's 2 a.m, it's a strange sound outside. Yeah, that woman is laying next to that man. Does that man get up and go check the noise? Nope. Forget the shoulders. He got a nice car. Skin all straight. Got a full beard, no patches. No. When there's a strange noise outside and it's 2 a.m, if you and the kids in the bed, does he get up and go check, or do you have to get up and go check? See, when we start separating the wheat from the chaff, when we start looking to get down to it, when you are healthy, right? When you're all good to go, everybody's healthy, everything's fine. But let somebody hurt their back and can't work for a couple months. Yeah, then you start seeing how much she loves your ass. Yeah. When you lose your car, you lose that nice ride. She go from looking, you know, smiling at you with a ray of sunshine beauty, like, hey man, I love you. You catch her looking at you, her face be uglier than the Cybertruck. Got that a mean mug. That's because your ass broke right there. That's right, she be uglier than a Cybertruck. So I'm saying we got to be able to look at things for what they are. Marjorie Taylor Greene at the moment is sounding like a reasonable person, and I accept her reasonableness. I accept it, and I wouldn't take another look. But if y'all mofos gonna listen to Clyburn, I mean, you gonna listen to AOC. Sound like AOC to me, but a little bit more believable. I can't believe I ever was like, Give her a break. Let's see what she does. She's young. Oh, God. I can't believe I ever said that about AOC. Y'all ready? I'm ready. Let's do it, y'all. I'm not saying go buy Marjorie Taylor Greene t-shirt. I'm just saying. Good segment. Next.
Barack Obama is going to be on the campaign trail with your opponent next weekend, 3 days before the election. Does the Obama magic still matter in a place like Virginia?
You know what the Democrats are doing? They have called us back into session because they have the ability to do that. And when are they calling us back into session, Rob? On the very day that President Obama is supposed to show up and all the days that he's here. It's me they're after. And you have to ask yourself again, why? It's because they see what the polls are showing. This is desperation tactics to support Abigail Spanberger.
Now, y'all help me make this make sense. Last year, I saw Obama chastise black men saying, y'all not supporting this Indian woman. Remember Kamala, who wasn't black, is not black, is not. Okay, she's Hindu, she's Indian. But I watched Obama sit there and chastise black men saying, y'all don't want to support this woman. But at the same time, turn around, go to Virginia and campaign against a real natural black woman. Y'all, listen, this let me know one thing. This ain't got nothing to do with color. This ain't got nothing to do with color. It's either God's side or Satan's side. God's side or Satan's side. Nothing to do with color. Pay attention.
You know, I want to know who Winsome. I don't know anything about Winsome. Where's Winsome shit? Where's Winsome from? You know, because it seemed like she just said that Winsome is black. Yeah, she looks black. I'm just saying, Jamaican American politician. Okay, that's what she is. Okay. Tether. Okay. Okay, look. Don't use that language, Sam. It's so disrespectful. Listen, man, this woman here talking about Winsome Spanberger. That's his Spanberger contest there for governor. Yeah. She got a point. Once again, she's got a point, Johnson, because you damn right, Obama was all in his feelings. Well, feeling bad about black men. Well, listen to these black men. Oh, I got a problem with the black men. You got a little misogynist problem. Remember that? Remember that he was saying that? We got a problem because we don't want to respect black women. What kind of black man doesn't respect black women? They had a whole room of black men sitting around disagreeing and nodding their head and shit. Everybody else came out and said that Barack Obama was wrong about doing that, about chastising and talking down to black men. Obama had been talking down to black men ever since he'd been in office. Once he got his foot in the door, once he became president, 2 weeks in, he was like, his whole tune changed from, hey, everybody, I love black people, we have power. And he got in and he was like, why are you, put your pants up, Pooh. Get to work, stop complaining. I ain't the president of black America. Hey, president of America. Tell Tyrone, tell Pookie. He ain't had no words for poor white people. He was never like this. Get Jethro's ass. Get his broke, barefoot, dirty ass out, get him out there. He never had words. No nicknames, no slang, no busting them up. He tried that one time during the election. I think he said something about they're tied to their guns. They're humping their Bibles or some shit like that. And the wrath of the poor whites came down on him so quickly, he had to backpedal. He almost lost the election. Hillary was using that shit against him, boy. Yeah. But my point is this. And it's the same thing I was pointing out when it came to criticism of, what's your girl's name? Jasmine Crockett. Same thing. Democrats don't care about black women. They care about Democrats. They care about the self-interest of their party. It's not so much about black women. There's black women that are not Democrats. Remember, half of America don't even vote, so half of America is not even affiliated with any political party. Then of the people that do vote, only about 50% of them are Democrats. So you do the math, how many people are not Democrats. Democrats don't give a shit about those other people. They care about their interests. So in the case of this gubernatorial race that's tightening, Spanberger was winning, and now it's got a little tighter because Spanberger is not a great candidate. Neither is Winsome. But she seems a little bit more real than Spanberger. Spanberger seems like Spam burger. Not very appetizing. But it's very real criticism to be had about the Democrats. The same way they don't want you talking bad about Jasmine Crockett, they can give a shit if you talk about Winsome. In fact, if I talked about Winsome, I'd go viral. They love that, fam. Oh, the algorithm on YouTube would love that. You talk about Crockett, all of a sudden your channel gets into a black hole. Yeah, talk too much about Jasmine Crockett. I've experienced it. And everybody comes for you. See what happened to Stephen A. Smith? And Stephen A. Smith was criticizing Winsome. Come on, Winsome. It would be a big deal. Winsome Sears, that's her last name. Yeah, it would not be a big deal if he was criticizing Winsome Sears. It'd be nothing. In fact, he'd be getting praised by the black community for it. But I mean black community, I mean Democrats. Unfortunately, too many black Americans believe Democrat means black when it doesn't. It just means used by blacks. Used by blacks. You know, like BET. Until I think it got recently sold again. Yeah, like that. Black faces. Not black. Not even. This ain't even BET. The Democratic Party is the BET channel of politics. You know what I'm saying? It looked like it's black owned, but it's not. It's got black faces. But that's not even true because the Democratic Party does not have black faces. It's a few. So anyway, yeah, of course Obama is, of course Obama is a contradiction. He's a hypocrite. He has no problem going down here forgetting that now he's campaigning against a black woman. All fine. I bet he won't be giving any locker room speeches. Instead, he'll be giving a reverse speech. Oh, blacks, I don't know why you're not voting for the white lady. Are we stuck on racism? Are we now siding with the Republican just because she's black? I don't know what to say. He's gonna have to do that. Michelle, what's going on? What's wrong with? Do a podcast. Get her on there. Michelle. But see, that's the hypocrisy of the Democratic Party. And I'm not saying that there's not a whole lot of hypocrisy with Republicans. I'm not saying that at all. Of course there are. Yes. But to me, Republicans never pretend to be all that welcoming. To us, anyway. You know what I'm saying? And maybe because we don't go to their shows, like, why put the content? Why put that type of content out if the people voting for you and the people that come to your store, don't actually consume that content? What I'm saying is, you don't know what's first, the chicken or the egg, but either way, the chickens are rotten at the end of the day when it comes to what's being offered to us. We'll see what happens in this race. It's getting tight in the governor's race in Virginia. But yes, Obama is a hypocrite for this. I agree with the sister who made the point. And Barack Obama knows it, and he ain't gonna speak to it. And he don't do a lot of press. When's the last time you see interviews with Obama? Because somebody might ask his ass a question, and he don't want to answer that question. And yeah, and there's a reason for it. There's a reason. Because there's no mistake. I mean, Obama, he works for the Democratic Party. And that's just what it is. And we can finally realize there. That does not mean it's good for us. And I don't know anything about the policies in Virginia or who's doing what in this particular race. I have not been covering it to that extent. Frankly, I'm not that interested. But for my people in Virginia, they might care. They might give a damn. Whose policies are better for you in Virginia? Is it Winston Earls, or is it the Spangenberger? Good question. All right, guys, let's keep it moving. Let me know what y'all think. I'm not sure, man. Put it in the comments. Anybody here know anything about this race closely? Let me put that in. Let me see. Anybody here knows? Let's see what we got. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I've not been looking at that. Somebody might know. Obama first. I don't know, fam. Oh, shit. I got comments about everything except that. I don't know. It's not even, my comments aren't even moving. I don't know. Okay. No one's following this story. People are not even commenting, Johnson. They're like, I don't care about this Tim Black. He can say sorry about Joe and sing Al Jarreau. Don't matter, it still ain't happening. Yeah, I don't know. Al Jarreau, in a minute, Johnson. Okay. Well, let's keep going, fam. Now, this is a Zohran Mamdani rally in New York City as we get closer and closer to that election, man. And yeah, this is, I don't know what this is, but it's a lot of people here. Courtesy of freedomnews.tv. Freedomnews.tv. Don't hit my channel up. Please, thank you for this.
And we get up stronger, and more resilient than ever before. I'll be fighting every day with my partners on the same side. I'm Stuart Cousins.
I also think this idea that like New Yorkers are going to flee because of a 2% increase, it's like, I've been everywhere else. You're not going anywhere. Bill Ackman's not going nowhere. He's going to be in the Hamptons all fucking
There's
summer.
only one place to write those tweets.
That's it.
New York City.
Exactly.
Every character you want.
AC goes out in July in Miami. You sweating writing tweets? There's
He's
no way.
spending more money against me than I would even tax him. Every day it's like $1 million. It's like $1 million. I'm like, I don't even want that. You're going above and beyond.
City was built by the Irish escaping famine, Italians fleeing fascism, Jews escaping Holocaust, Black Americans fleeing slavery and Jim Crow, Latinos deceased.
Yeah, this is how New York was built, folks, by black people escaping slavery. I mean, Jim Crow. Let's got everybody in here. Yeah, we gotta throw everybody in here, to kind of Make it make sense. Because we gotta make sure all represented people are all represented.
Seeking a better life, Native people standing for themselves, Asian Americans coming together in Queens, in Brooklyn, in the Bronx, in Manhattan, in Staten Island, in this country, in a...
Here is what we stand for, my friends. We are going to freeze the rent for more than 2 million rent-stabilized tenants. And use every resource at our disposal to build housing for everyone who needs it. We are going to eliminate the fare on every single bus line and make what are currently the slowest buses in the nation move around this city with ease. And we are going to create universal child care at no cost to parents.
Free shit.
So New Yorkers can raise their family in the city they love. Together, New York, we're going to freeze them. Together, New York, we're going to make buses fast and together, New York, we're going to deliver universal. We will make our
Somebody got to put gas in the
one
buses.
where every person who calls it home.
Somebody got to pay tenants, owners, property owners.
No New Yorker should ever be priced out of anything they need to survive. And we believe then, we believe today, we will believe tomorrow that it is government's job to deliver that dignity. Dignity, my friends, is another way of saying freedom. Standing before you this evening, I take great strength from those who have labored mightily for the cause of freedom in America. I just want to reach out to you.
Okay, before he gets going, and before this brother gives you the other side of what he feels is something that they're not reporting on when it comes to Zohran Mamdani. I gotta say, man, you know, as I listen to him, as I look at the things, I mean, freeze the rent, housing, bus line that moves quickly, supermarkets, universal child care.
We're gonna pay for that shit.
Yeah, I can imagine why a lot of people might want to support this guy because he's talking about things that actually impact people's lives.
We're gonna pay for it.
You might not agree with the tactics or how he proposes to get it done. You might not even believe he can get it done. But yeah, he's selling something. He's selling things that people actually want. I have no idea what Cuomo was running on except he wasn't Zohran. And he already lost. Like, Zohran had already beat everybody. He won his primary. So it was pretty much cooked. It was kind of done then. It's funny when I see these pundits coming around and finally saying Zohran could win. No shit. Warned you 2 months ago. It was obvious then. You know, that's when you could have called it. That's when you were, you know, could have been a forerunner on this thing, as far as what you saw. Forecasting the probability that Zohran was going to win months ago is the only way that made any sense. Unless you're part of that establishment that doesn't want to see reality because it doesn't fit the narrative, right? I don't know what this means for New York. I don't know if he can get any of this stuff done. I don't know. I hear different takes on this and say there's just things mayors can't do. We'll see. It's a big deal. We're gonna see what gets done. It's over, Johnson. He will be the mayor of New York City, and we'll get an idea of what this type of mayor looks like, you know, in a major city. There is no city in the world quite like New York City. The diversity, the budget, it's like of the world. It's like a world city. Anywhere you go in the world, if people speak English, and some people that don't, they know about New York City. If Zohran is able to be successful as mayor, You may be seeing some changes. Good or bad, we will see. But if it's positive, you'll see some changes. And if there's no positive changes, if things go bad, woo, that's going to have a hell of an impact. So on one side of the coin, you got people going to Black or going to the world, basically. Not just me. Just saying, hey, this is a positive. Get energized, Tim. The world, get energized, everybody. This is what we've been asking for, an opportunity to go in a more progressive direction. Let's see what we can do with this new way of looking at governing, which actually gives back to people. You know, I've always wondered, what was wrong with people? Like, why do you look down on people getting something from the government that they're taxed for anyway? Yeah, like, I never understood the argument against, like, people that need it getting food stamps or meal, food assistance. These are people that are taxpayers. We're a tax-paying country. I can see we didn't pay taxes, but that means people are paying into what they're using. It's like a pension, right? So I never understood that. I never understood why you were opposed to people getting health care. Oh, that's right. That means poor black people get it too. The folks, at the end of the day, and it's something I talked about years ago, and I saw it kind of get traction around progressive circles. The reason why we don't have health care, universal health care, same reason why they want to stop the food assistance, same reason why they don't want you to get free local college tuition. Because once upon a time, Johnson, community college was basically $20 in a box of stamps, a pack of stamps, a couple rows of quarters, got you in a community college. Back in the 50s. Yeah, around 65, 70 is when the prices of local education went up. Yeah, just when time happened for desegregation. Yeah, there was a reason for that. Look it up, fam. It ain't hard to tell. As soon as it looks like black people may be benefiting from it, there's a group of people that push back. And they don't care if it hurts poor white people. They don't care if working class white people also get screwed. Yeah. So, Zohar Madani, he's gonna look like he's gonna be the man now. We got some people doing the Hail Mary. They're hoping that something happens between now and then. Right, this guy's gonna tax us too much. He's gonna take money from us. Yeah, only the rich people though. If you're rich, what's 2% more? But let's hear the argument from the other side of the coin. I saw this clip. This guy's got like 500,000 views. So let's hear him out.
You guys once more with the same old rhetoric. Yeah, we have a few days till an election in New York City, and it's important that you go out there and vote, man. New York City, please understand what's happening here. To some of you young people especially, this is not what you think it is. It's all smoke and mirrors. This guy that's coming in, this young radical, will shape your lives in a very terrible way for the next 4 years, possibly 8 years. It's important you understand, because experience is the best teacher. I'm 60 years old. I've been living in this city my entire life, and I've seen it come and I've seen them go, and this is going to be one of the worst. And to some of you people, especially you young liberals, idealistically speaking, thinking about, changing the world, that's not going to happen. What's going to happen is you're going to suffer more than you are already. His proposals are weak. He cannot support them, not to mention he's going to contribute to crime. Another thing is for the folks out there that sit on their asses all day on social service programs, welfare, Section 8, and everything else, you can't hide. This is going to impact you even more. Why? Because they are going to blame the Trump administration while not giving you the...
He said sit on your asses all day. Damn.
...resources that they're supposed to give you once these resources are removed. They're just going to blame up. And it's going to get worse and worse for you. Why? Because they don't care about you. They need someone in 2028 to politicize, and that's going to be you. Section 8 is never going to be awarded to the people that it used to be awarded to. It's going to be awarded to foreigners that are coming in. As you can see, public housing, subsidized housing, right? And you have rent control, and all these initiatives are not for you or for me. Therefore, these people that are slowly creeping into the city of New York, wake up, put down the drugs, take off the fucking bonnets, and you men, snap out that shit you're in and contribute and get your asses out to vote. Yes, I'm being tough and I'm being hard because in the long run, when my bones are dust, you'll think to yourself, I remember that guy was mentioning that shit on some clip, and now look how we're living. I can't believe we didn't listen. So, remember, if you don't vote, you don't count. Okay? It's important you understand that. So we expect to see you on November at the ballot box. I don't care where you come from, where you hail from, how much money you have, right? How poor you are, whether you're on public assistance, whether you're not. Get your asses out there, man. We need you. And again, this is J.A. Perez on my platform. With one love, New York City. Hey, why the long face? Dispelling the delusion.
Next on deck.
Yo, man. Why, man? Why? Why, man? Why you always gotta shit on black people to make your point? That's what I'm saying. I swear, man. It's got Republican. Dude, why can't we just keep it on the guy's policies and how they are not going to be good for us in the long run, or for New York in the long run, is that, and that these services, these offerings that he's proposing are really not to benefit working class Americans, but people newly arriving to the country. Why can't we just keep it there? That's a body enough analysis. That right there hits home for a lot of people right there. Why not keep it there? Why do you got to go anti-black? Talking about black people in bonnets. People sitting on their ass, not working. It was the way you kind of spun it. You even said black men. He didn't call out black women. He just said people in bonnets or something. It's like, man, no matter who it is, it's like the only way to get any mileage in this country, you gotta throw black people under the bus. That's what it is. That's the ticket. Now I know why it's got so many views. You got a black guy sitting on black people, somehow making this problem of Zohan getting elected a black problem. Well, we know it's not black people. Even if you think that it's a problem, it ain't black people that are voting him in. You know, it's immigrants mostly, and white folks of a certain age. That's his majority, that's his base. We're not his base, but as usual, when push comes to shove, go get the blacks. Go get the blacks, just like Obama. It's like they all learned, it's like they all went to the same school. You want something done, shit on black people, that'll get it done. It's like a knee-jerk reaction to any obstacle. Anyway, I don't know if this is true. I do believe Zohan is very much friendly for the immigrants. I heard a couple of speeches. He was talking about 9/11, and he was talking, I think his aunt, who was unable to ride the subway because of her job, and how she was discriminated against on 9/11, and she felt unsafe. So she stopped riding public transportation. And Zohan was getting choked up when he said it. And I think there was a response to it that someone said, well, you know, he went on his tirade about 9/11 and how it impacted Muslims in New York. But he didn't even mention the people that died in 9/11. It's like, oh shit, I guess, yeah. I mean, if you're from New York City and planes crash into buildings and kill innocent people and first responders, you might want to mention that part too, not just Muslims that couldn't walk, who didn't feel safe on the train. I mean, if you are a resident of New York City, it's kind of a big deal to miss that, like to not mention the horrific nature of 9/11. You know, also being the people that died during 9/11. I'm just saying, I don't think there's anything wrong about that. But see, that would make you a Republican for even paying attention to that, right? That's why I hate politics, man. See, both sides got good points. I think you can make the same argument that, yeah, okay. Yeah, you can mention the deaths of people on that day. And you could also mention the hostility after that day. You know, because people were afraid. I mean, I was in D.C., working downtown D.C. during that time. And yeah, it was a level of fear. People had a level of fear about who they were being sold a bill of goods about who was the perpetrators of 9/11 and what their intentions were, right? So anybody in any major city like DC, remember, because we had a crashing, we were told an attack at the Pentagon. I used to drive past that Pentagon every day to work. It was eerie as hell driving past it. I remember when 9/11 happened. I remember looking out the window, looking at the smoke billowing into the clouds. At the time, I was working at Falls Church, Virginia, when 9/11 happened. And then when I went to D.C., and we were dealing with the repercussions. And I would say for a good 6 months, it was just eerie. Anybody old like me, remember this? Going to work in a major location, a major city in the United States, and using the public transportation and seeing the threat levels, the yellow, the red, the green, different threat levels they were using, color-coded. Yeah, it was real. I'm not saying that Zohan is wrong, because I remember being a little bit uneasy as myself. Seeing people in different hair garbs. It's a little, getting on the train, you look and see somebody with the hijab on, or turban or something, like, that's okay, I'll take the next one. It's okay. I got time. I'll wait. Hey, I'm being real. I was a young man. I didn't know, I'm saying basically, look, got more, definitely it's not a reasonable fear considering of all the ways black people get killed in America. That's the least of my worries should be somebody with a turban or a hijab running into a subway train. But hey, you don't want to be the exception to the rule, so you're like on high alert. I was paying attention. My point is, okay, back to Zohan. Look, man, I get the people being apprehensive. I get people saying this guy's selling a bill of goods. He may be, but at the end of the day, it's the process. It's the election process playing out. And this is what New York City wants. Yeah, that's what they want. And some of it, Johnson, may have to do with the supreme focus on deportations. Because that creates a vacuum on the other side. So while Trump is, part of him winning the presidency was a focus on deportations and illegal immigrants, undocumented immigrants, that creates on the other side an opportunity to lean the other way. There's a push-pull. And I think that's what Zohan just was smart enough to recognize, him and his team, and they built their campaign around that. It's like there's a built-in group of people pissed at Trump that you can use. That are ready, they're primed. We'll see where it goes. Let me know what you think. Is New York City over and done with? I tend to believe, that's the question, is New York City over and done with? Is Zohan going to be the downfall of New York? I tend to believe New York's too big to fail. If it survived, de Blasio and Adams, it survived Zohan. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section, fam. I think it's a lot of gaslighting, a lot of pounding on the chest, clutching the pearls, a lot of frustration and worry that it's over is exaggerated at this point. You'll survive this. You're New Yorkers. You'll be fine. Next.
With Tim Black. Next on deck with Tim Black.
The Black Truth Report. The Black Truth Report.
With Tim Black.
The school here had to be evacuated, 100 kids, and you can see behind me the aftermath is People are mucking out dozens and dozens of blocks here in Westernport, which has really been the epicenter of the flooding in Allegheny County in Western Maryland. But that school yesterday, when this flood was on, had more than 100 kids trapped inside. Let me take you back, because there is this iconic photograph that's come out of this that literally at this point millions of people have seen on social media. A man carrying his kid out of school. Before authorities were able to get there, they were hoping to keep the school locked down and eventually evacuated by boats, thanks to some of the people here with the volunteer fire company. I wanted to track that individual down. The photo attracted so much attention. His name is Dustin Nash. I was able to find him today with his daughter, and we spoke just a short time ago. Here's some of what Dustin had to say.
We still had no idea that it was flooding. Nobody called us or nothing. We saw Main Street. I just panicked. That's when we first saw the parking lot. And I just thought, what every other parent would think, I had to get to my daughter, so that's what I did. I jumped over the fence, got to my daughter, and got her out of there.
How was she doing?
She was fine until we got outside to come back across, and then she got a little nervous.